Greetings, all! Today, we'll be examining the relatively common grass-type Pokemon Sunkern, the Seed Pokémon, and its uncommon evolution Sunflora, the Sun Pokémon. Though they might be a bit too slow for most to work with, the members of the Sunkern family are still pleasant plants to be around if you don't mind plenty of sunlight.
Sunkern have small, semi-rounded seed bodies with a yellow base and a frilled upper half from which a green two-leaf sprout grows. Their main body also has a trio of dark brown stripes on their face, which frame their small mouth and round black eyes. Their evolved forms, Sunflora, have a bulbous green main torso with a pair of two-toed green root feet and a pair of broad leaves they use in place of arms. Their head is the dominant part of their form, having a large yellow sunflower head with numerous petals that rim the sides of their head, and a large mouth with two thin eye holes that tend to be closed to keep them from being overexposed to sunlight.
While they might be rather numerous in the right habitats, the exact state that Sunkern formed from as seeds is not entirely known, with uncertainty around whether they are mainly egg or seed-based.
What is known for certain is that new Sunkern fall out of the sky shortly after dawn year-round, except for the winter, and spend most of their lives living on the Earth, possibly as part of an explosive method of seed dispersal. It also seems that the population of Sunkern practically explodes 1 year after a cold summer. It is quite possible that the host Sunflora that Sunkern originally spawned from respond to colder temperatures in the summer by preparing additional seeds for the next year, though this is still speculation at best. It can definitely be said that Sunflora are unlikely to be able to actually produce Sunkern in the wild under normal conditions, suggesting that only a moderate amount of Sunflora can produce Sunkern from seeds, while the rest eventually develop into a basic seed-producing parent plant. Regardless, the truth is still uncertain. The overall life cycle of the Sunkern family consequently remains incomplete. From what is known though, when Sunkern evolve, they undergo complete anatomical reformation and essentially become different organisms, just as normal plant seeds do. In turn, they gain access to a number of new moves that are otherwise not seen in them prior to evolution. In particular, Sunflora can learn the Pound attack early on, and the Petal Dance, Bullet Seed, Leaf Storm, and Petal Blizzard attacks as they develop. Moreover, evolution grants these creatures the ability to utilize the unique Flower Shell technique, which only a few species ever actually learn. While most of these changes make sense, it is nonetheless noted that many Sunkern never really get the chance to evolve because of the odd conditions and length of time needed, which may explain why they are still able to learn a number of potent attacks despite their weaker forms.
As far as their abilities are concerned, these plants are alike in that they are truly powered directly by the sun, as they can have access to chlorophyll and solar power-based abilities, while those that can get a quick recharge on their end while resting can also have Early Bird as a hidden ability.
When it comes to the overall base stats though, in the case of Sunflora, there is a great deal missing here, as while they have decent resistance to special assaults and can hit mildly hard with their special powers, the base special attack stat being above average for a fully evolved grass-type Pokemon, everything else about them sadly underperforms to a great extent, the base HP, attack, defense, and speed stats being below average for a fully evolved Pokemon of their type, thus limiting their combat effectiveness without the power of the sun on their side.
Sunkern possess extremely repressed anatomical arrangements and are closer in composition to regular plant seeds than any other type of Pokemon.
Sunkern almost never move and only eat dew, clinging to grass, plants, and even themselves in the morning. Essentially, they are the epitome of a true living seed. This is all done in an effort to accelerate evolution as much as possible, but the cycle of reasoning behind this life cycle is a bit confusing. Among Pokemon, Sunkern possess an extremely low base stat total, and are thusly considered to be among the weakest species of Pokemon known. While this factor is somewhat offset by the relatively diverse move list, the fact that they can't do much with it remains. Furthermore, this makes Sunkern easy prey in the wild, especially for small predators like Spearow. Because of their limited combat strength, the most Sunkern do is violently shake the sprout on their head in an effort to scare off their attacker. It makes sense that Sunkern would want to evolve as soon as possible under these conditions, but these conditions also appear to be the result of Sunkern limiting the energy their body uses. Hence, cause and effect are circular in structure. Even today, it is unknown how this strange process ever even started, and which end of the cycle began everything. The process does apparently pay off, however, as many wild Sunkern are eventually able to evolve within a week or two of being born, even though the vast majority never make it to this point. This process can be highly accelerated though, by exposing them to the radiant energy of a sunstone. Sunflora are unique in that they are able to use solar energy to produce all the nutrients they need to survive, so they can survive in almost any outside environment with very little water, including deserts. Though they obviously do not live in deserts because Sunkern are incapable of actually surviving without water. Unfortunately, this has made Sunflora completely dependent upon the sun for sustenance, as their bodies are unable to metabolize most other substances. During the daytime, Sunflora will often run wildly from place to place in order to get as much sun exposure as possible. While this habit can be annoying to trainers that are constantly on the move, their hectic movement patterns are also quite hilarious to watch on a cloudy day. Once the sun sets, Sunflora close their petals and stop moving completely, mainly because they simply can't move. Without light, Sunflora have little to no energy. On the plus side though, this also means that Sunflora are able to generate powerful solar beam attacks with relatively little effort. In terms of peak activity, Sunflora are at their strongest during the warmer parts of spring and summer, when the sun shines the brightest. While their appearance and demeanor generally varies from day to day, Sunflora usually become livelier and more vividly colored as sunlight intensity increases.
Well, aren't these little friends some of the cutest and funniest plants out there? Sunkern is such a small little critter, a living seed that lives only to survive, even if they're not always made to survive for very long. But given they only need a little bit of time to evolve normally in the wild, this is at least somewhat understandable, though it's a shame that their stats are too low to make good use of most of their stronger attacks. At the very least, the evolved form Sunflora are a major improvement in evolution and can actually make good use of the sun-based powers to elevate their grass-type offenses in a fight. The fact that they need sunlight in order to actually function can make them difficult to use in a lot of situations, so they aren't the most versatile of beasts. But they can still hit pretty hard, and when the sun is on their side, they can be a much bigger threat than their comical-looking forms might suggest. The setup time for this can be tricky given they are really slow, but if you don't mind waiting for the right moment to use them, they can still use attacks like Solar Beam to blast away others and show the kind of flower power that is truly at their disposal.
Although they might not come off as the strongest of Pokemon all the time, the members of the Sunkern family are still fascinating creatures whose unique biology renders them a great plant study in understanding exotic cell biology. You may have to go out of your way to get a rare sunstone to maximize their potential, but at the very least they can make these creatures into somewhat usable combatants in the right environments.
Just do yourself a favor and make sure not to tie any plants with them past sunset. They might be a bundle of energy in the light, but as soon as night falls, you'll be better off using a flashlight to light your way when these plants take an unapproachable snooze.
Thank you for watching this video. It brings me great joy to be able to speak to you all in the world each and every time we meet like this, to explore the many different facets of both the world of Pokemon as we know it, and the world as we live it, through every adventure we have with Pokemon by our side. If you'd like to, please subscribe, ring the bell and all that jazz, to keep yourself updated on content uploads and other materials of the like. You can also follow me on Twitter if you'd like to know right away when something new is uploaded, and my written works, from which most of this is based on, can be found on DeviantArt. Links to both can be found in the description down below. Remember that the world of Pokemon is a place full of wonder and mystery, and you never know what to expect. So, stay vigilant, keep watch, and always be prepared for the unexpected. Until next time, trainers and friends of all sorts, have a wonderful time.